As the Nile River cataracts through the rugged terrain of Uganda, a monumental structure rises. This is the Karuma Hydro Power Dam, an engineering marvel that harnesses the untamed power of the Nile, promising a new era of energy for a nation on the rise. Years in the making, the Karuma Dam is not just a symbol of technological prowess, it is a beacon of hope for Uganda's future. But behind the concrete walls and turbines lies a story of ambition, challenge and transformation. The 600 megawatt Karuma Hydro Power Project is located on River Nile in China-Uganda District, 110 kilometers downstream of Lake Kyoga and 270 kilometers from Kampala city. For decades, Uganda faced an energy crisis. Frequent power outages plagued the nation, stunting economic growth and definitely slowing growth of the national GDP. The need for a reliable power source became a national priority.
Karuma, we have developed it with a partnership of the China Exim Bank through a concessional loan at about $1.2 billion and some equity from the government.
In the clean energies, Chinese companies has built several landmark projects, including Ishimba Hydro Power Plant, as well as Karuma Hydro Power Plant. Take Karuma Hydro Power Plant as an example. This project was financed by Chinese financial institutions and built by Chinese companies. It was handed over not long ago to the Uganda side. And it has increased the built-in capacity of the electricity for Uganda by 50%.
The Karuma project is a road and bed cooperation between two governments. It was started 2013 December.
We started with the excavation works, followed by structural concrete works, and then equipment installation and erection, and the last phase where we are now is the testing and commissioning phase.
Sino Hydro, a significant Chinese state-owned hydropower engineering and construction corporation that has been involved in several infrastructure projects, will pave the way for more renewable energy projects.
Sino is international construction companies, and his main job is for the Hydro Power project, because we have other infrastructure and the solar project. This is a very huge companies. We started the business in Uganda 2009 for the Pujakari project. That time we are just doing construction of the electrical mechanical works.
The project created many job opportunities for the youth from all parts of the country.
At one point, this project was employing over 10,000 local staff, service providers, those who give us the food, those who provide the security, those who maintain. So it's something that we emphasize to the service providers, that we should make a difference within the community, and one of them is to make sure that we give them jobs.
The state-of-the-art dam was meticulously designed with 6 major components, namely a dam section, power intake unit, powerhouse, transformer cavern, surge chamber, pressure shafts, cable shaft, and 2 tail race tunnels for returning water circulating through the turbines back to the river.
The dams are meant to keep a certain level of water. So this spillway gates, in essence, control these levels. And so the 9 of them are currently operational. And on the extreme right of the river, we have a fish ladder.
Because during the studies which were done, it was discovered that there's some migratory fish which breed and spawn upstream. Okay? So when you put a barrier, you'll be affecting them. So you have to make a provision where they can be able to move upstream. So the fish ladder mimics the normal flow of the river without the dam wall. Okay? So that the fish can feel it's the real river, and they swim upstream and go and spawn.
The project does not affect the flow of the Nile. The water used to run the turbines is later released into the underground water channel that connects back to River Nile 9 kilometers away.
As per this design, some of the water is diverted to pass underground, and 9 kilometers downstream, it goes back to the river.
To access the underground powerhouse, you drive through a 2.5 kilometers arc tunnel. It was built by blasting the Karuma mountain rock. The 12-meter wide and 9-meter tall tunnel is wide and high enough to support mobility of machinery in and out of the powerhouse.
So right now we are 100 meters underground from the surface, and this is where the powerhouse is situated. So because the configuration is an underground power plant, the powerhouse itself is underground.
This was in a bid to increase the head so that we could get a higher installed capacity from the same location, using the same storage or volume of water, but with an increased head, because it was initially conceptualized as a 200 megawatt plant.
When water is released from the reservoir to the intake, it falls through a penstock to the turbine. Each of the 6 installed turbine units is served by an independent intake inlet. From a head of 60 meters, each turbine unit requires at least a volume of 182,000 liters per second to rotate and generate 100 megawatts. From the transformer, the 400 kV power is sent to the gas-insulated switchgear, GIS, a suitable, modern and high-end technology for its underground project.
If we had gone outdoor switchgear, the was transmission outside there, it could not fit here. So they introduced this technology. This technology minimizes the space.
From the GIS, the 400 kV power is sent out in 2 lines through a double bus system to enable flexibility to switch from one line to another in case one line went off. The power is then distributed through transmission lines including outgoing line 1 and 2 towards the National Transmission Control Center in Kawanda, Kampala, Lira substation, and to the Nebi substation that will supply reliable electricity to West Nile region that has never been on the national grid before. From 3 major substations, power cascades through the distribution network, reaching countless homes, businesses, and industrial parks.
We are now able to serve areas of Gulu better. Nowadays, the power is reliable. At one point, it was quite unreliable in the greater northern Uganda.
It is more than just a source of power. It is a catalyst for change, driving industrial growth, creating jobs, and improving the quality of life for millions of Ugandans.
The historical background of Karuma and the image of Karuma was not as normal now. Karuma was some few houses from that time, but right now, anyone can just come and be surprised how Karuma developed. From the village, change to the town council because the influx of the people were increased.
This project has been unique and still unique. It's the largest power station in the country. It is an underground station, the only of its kind in East Africa.
A 600 megawatt hydro project that would not only electrify Uganda, but also serve as a critical component for the East African power pool.
And that has brought immense benefit to Uganda. And Uganda has become an electricity storage for the East African countries. And it has the ability to export extra electricities.
We are in an advantage position because all our neighbors are not rich in sources of energy as we are as a country. We can trade in electrodes.
We are already selling power to Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, and we are working on transmission lines to South Sudan, but also to the DRC Congo. Therefore, it will be very important that we continue to grow our capacity so that we are trading efficiently with our neighbors and supporting them. When you look at a country like South Sudan, they are currently running generators, diesel generators, very expensive power from fossil fuels. So aligning with the green movement, aspects of climate change, when we enter this power trade, We are also offsetting enormous carbon emissions, not only in Uganda, but also in our neighboring countries.
Uganda is poised to become a leader in green energy, not just in Africa, but globally.
The vehicles, the buses are going to move into electric buses. We are going to have, even the train is going to be electric. So that means we need to increase the generation of power, the amount of power which we are producing.
From the roaring falls of Karuma to the humming turbines of the dam, this is more than just a story of water and power. It is a story of hope, resilience, and the boundless potential of a nation.
Yes, we have built capacity. We have very young engineers who are very good. They've learned a lot.
We've gained skills in design reviews, in contract management. We are now in a better position and more confident if we got another big project of this size to work on it.
I want to first take an opportunity to thank China-Uganda Cooperation Limited because it has nurtured me into what I am currently. In the field of IT, basically at the moment, I can run my own IT firm from the experience I've gained from here because I've really interconnected the entire project, both underground and then on surface. Because of what I did, I was elevated from just a mere IT tech to a senior IT technician in the project.
They come from a different culture, and it's been quite a good experience to work with them. I've got an opportunity to visit some of their facilities in China. They employ young, energetic and vibrant part of the population. They are open to learning and also giving out information because they are really flexible and they are well moving high with the technology.
It is more than just a source of power. The Karuma Dam is a catalyst for change, driving industrial growth, creating jobs, and improving the quality of life for millions of Ugandans.
Vision 2040, we are supposed to have 52,000 megawatts. We are currently with the commissioning of Karuma at about 2,000 megawatts. And when you look at the demand, industrial development in this country, certainly will need to increase generation capacity.
Currently, the amount of kerosene which we are importing and using is going down because everybody is moving into clean energy. We want to move those who are cooking using firewood, using charcoal, let them come to use electricity for cooking. We want to focus on the children. I don't want any child actually to be reading using a candle.
Electricity has the highest impact in reducing poverty. So that speaks to the significance of this project. The government's commitment to ensure socio-economic transformation of the country, but also critically the commitment we've made in the National Development Plan 3 to ensure clean energy access.
The completion of the Karuma Hydro Power Station marks a significant milestone in Uganda's expedition towards energy independence and sustainable development. As the country journeys to grow domestic and foreign direct investment for sustainable industrialization, Karuma will play a pivotal role in supplying reliable electricity to over 25 industrial parks across the country. These will employ over 400,000 youth. Thanks to the China-Uganda Cooperation, with Karuma on the national and regional grids, Uganda is destined for prosperity.